The retention department. I caught her cheating. I feel sorry for her and I don't know why. She treated me horribly, but when I think about her ruining her life and turning into trash, I have pity. Maybe that's a normal and common feeling. I think about our less and less and want it less and less. I really want it just for the kids, but she would have to make a complete transformation and she is too dumb and selfish for that. I feel bad that my kid's mother will likely have a miserable life and not be someone they are proud of, but I can't deal with her. She let the kids FaceTime me, but they only talked a minute and wanted to go back to playing. WW kept trying to prolong the call. They accidentally hung up, so I called back and said, "Whoa, I didn't realize it's 7:30. Daddy has to go." So, she jumped in and said, "Why don't you want to talk to them? What are you about to go do?" I just ignored her questions and told the kids bye. She kept trying to prolong it still, but she wasn't in that sad begging mode tonight. She was in the mean wayward mode, which is pretty much her normal demeanor now, but it definitely made me like her less. If her and OM get together and stay together, he is going to be one miserable man. I am certain it will be miserable if we try to reconcile. But I do enjoy when she is begging me to come back, and I'm sad when she acts like she is fine. I don't know why though, but when she begs I detest her, and when she acts fine, I want her to beg some more. I messed up again earlier and talked a little bit to ask if she installed her alarm at home yet. I told her I have to go get some more of my stuff while she is gone. She started asking questions, so I told her I am leaving my parents and getting an apartment in a few days, so I need a few pots and pans to cook. She started asking a bunch of questions about where it's at and who I am living with and how old they are and all that. I want to tell her I am moving on and the offer for reconciliation is no longer open. But maybe I should wait until I get the last of my stuff out the house. Or should I not say anything at all? And I'm not doing planner right now or still supporting her like a couple posters said. I give just what the lawyer said I have to at this time. But it's not enough for her to pay all the bills. She was being cooperative today and not trying to talk me into staying. But she said she feels like her chest hurts all day and she has nightmares at night. But she also suggested that I could take some furniture for the apartment. The last thing she told me was that she was trying to get out, but it's hard because you don't understand what he is to me and how he cares about me. Basically, that sounds like I want to be with him and have his family and my family be okay with it and not think I am bad. She also said she was trying to find a solution where no one would get hurt. She said she can't leave home because it hurts me and the kids and she can't leave and hurt him. So basically, she chose him over her own kids. The more I think about it though, I don't think I ever was crazy about her like I was with girls before her. And that made her chase after me even more. But once we got married and when our first child was born, I started to feel real genuine love for the first time. But it lasted about a week and she started being lazy and neglecting the baby. Well, not neglecting it badly, but not showing the same love and affection I saw my mother and other women show for babies. Same thing repeated with the second baby, and I thought maybe it was postpartum depression, but the affair started not long after that. And maybe it was depression that allowed the affair to develop. On a side note, she texted earlier saying you were in my life for over half of it. How do you just rip yourself out of it so fast like you don't care? I wanted to tell her I didn't do the ripping, but I let it go. She isn't very good, but she was different from a lot of the wayward stories I read. For instance, they talk about the wayward being addicted and all that and thinking they found their soulmate, and she is like that for the most part. But on my VAR, I heard her treating other man like B a few times and putting him down and building me up. He whined and cried about it and they fought some more. That was difficult hearing another man argue with my wife and I can't get to him to beat him up. But hearing them fight made me think either it wasn't real and was about to fail, or that it was the real thing because of that. But maybe it is common for affair partners to fight like that and then make up later. Or maybe she is just a major B and can't get along with anyone. I have exposed to everyone right after D-Day. She went ballistic, but eventually calmed down and the fog lifted for a while, but resumed again in a week or less. Is it normal for wayward wives' mood to change constantly? For instance, one day she is begging me to come home and stop the divorce. The next day she is being mean and acts like she doesn't want the marriage. From what I've learned in all my spying before I left, I don't think it's likely OM will dump her. She has dumped him 3 times already and he whined and got mad and stalked her. But she eventually returned, and he already divorced his wife to be with her after WW tried to dump him the first time. So, he has nothing to lose. He can have her when he wants and be talking to other girls, or wives, while she dumps him for a couple weeks at a time. He did cheat on his wife before with at least one other girl that I am aware of. I discussed that with WW right after D-Day, but she had an excuse for him and said he wouldn't do that to her. I think her excuse was that his wife was so jealous and hard to get along with all the time that it drove him to it. Did stalk and whine and cry and threaten to X himself the times she dumped him, but I don't know if that wore her down or she just missed the high and wanted it back. I feel kind of sorry for her getting herself into this mess and I feel bad about how her life is going to turn out if she continues on this path. I can easily see her broke and trashy and just bouncing from one failed relationship to another for the rest of her life. And I feel bad for my kids that they won't have a mother they can be proud of. And I'm sure she will run across an abuser or child molester eventually. But she did it to herself and it's not my responsibility anymore. I will try to keep the kids safe and away from any bad men she may eventually bring around. But that's about all I can do. Anyway, I blocked WW from texting or calling my cell because she wouldn't stop. She called my mom complaining to her. Then she called again and my mom gave me the phone. WW was trying to ask what I'm doing. One thing that stuck out to me was when she said it makes her mad that I'm acting like the good guy in all this. She also said, "How is you filing for divorce going to help me end the affair?" I said it's not supposed to, but it's going to let me get away and feel better and find someone that isn't having an affair. She was wanting me to take one of the kids a day early today, but I said I would rather stick to our schedule. She said she was just trying to help me by giving him to me early so I won't be sad and missing them too much. She also said she thinks I am trying to make it hard on the kids because I know that's the only thing that will get to her. I said no, but I wish I would have told her that any pain the kids have is because of her and her affair. I blocked WW on my cell so she has to call my mom's house to talk to me and can't just text me whenever she wants. She dropped the kids off for my week today, and when she went to leave, she was standing there like she was waiting for me to say something. So, I just said, "Okay, bye." She huffed and puffed and said whatever and left. She called later to ask about me getting the rest of my stuff and was happy sounding and in a good mood. Yesterday and early this morning she was sounding like she was crying. That's why I don't want to talk to her because her mood fluctuates so much and causes my mood to fluctuate. I keep seeing videos about wayward wives chasing their betrayed spouses for a long time after separating and divorcing. Is that pretty common? It surprised me that my wife has been pursuing me every other day or so. Right after D-Day she was looking forward to divorce more than I was. 99% of the time I am glad to be free from her. But I worry that she may come out better and happier and everything go great for her. I know it's wrong, but I would feel a lot better knowing she is miserable and regrets the affair one day. Or if she doesn't regret it, at least turns out to have a worse future than me. But I guess that's the point of forgiveness, so it doesn't matter either way what happens to her. I came up with another theory on why it's called cheating too. The AP is cheating because they don't have to take care of the wayward or spend money or babysit or any of the boring stuff, since the wayward has a spouse for that. So, they are cheating by getting the affection without the work. I had to go pay the lawyer some more money today and sign some stuff. WW still doesn't have a lawyer and doesn't seem to be able to afford one. I've already spent $23.00 on a lawyer. Since I blocked her on my phone, she hasn't bothered me much today. I heard talking to the kids and she seemed to be happy and in a good mood. But nothing has really started with the divorce yet, except me leaving and splitting time with the kids and not being there to do my service as a maid and cook. She hasn't been affected financially yet. That's coming soon though. She should be happy this week though since I have the kids. She hates taking care of the kids and cleaning up after them and other motherly tasks, except the fun parts. I've been no contact with WW and using Skype to talk to kids during her week. She grabbed the iPad from the kids and started fussing and crying about I need to unblock her on my phone so she can get in touch with me about the kids. I told her to put the kids back on and she wouldn't, so I said goodbye. She started texting a bunch of stuff on Skype so I had to delete it. Today she called and was fussing with my mom telling her I am hurting the kids by not talking to them during her week and if I don't unblock her, she is going to fight for full custody. I don't understand why she wants to talk to me so bad. I'm sure the kids do miss me during their week at her house, but I can't Skype them because WW ruins that. And when I did Skype them, they were busy playing and didn't want to talk. I'm sure to them Skype is no substitute for physical contact. I want to have zero contact though so she can't sneak in a little remark to hurt me. Like I am causing the kids pain by having her blocked so it's harder for them to talk to me. Even though I know it's her affair, that's the reason for everyone's pain. If I unblock her, after a week or two she will start sneaking in little comments that have nothing to do with the kids and try to bait me into an argument. The other day she called my mom to say she made a dentist appointment for the kids. Then she used some unknown number to text me and tell me she talked to my mom and scheduled a dentist appointment. So, there was no need for her to tell me that if she already went through my mom to set it up. And if I do Skype the kids, she will probably be in the background talking to other man or something to make sure I can hear. The kids are 3 and 5. They haven't said or done anything to make me suspect any abuse. They seem to act as normal as always. In fact, they don't seem to be bothered by any of this at all. I suspect they may be complaining to WW that they miss me during her week. I assume that's why she wants me to Skype them so badly, even though they are busy playing and not interested in Skype after about 1 minute. But that's how they always acted when they missed their grandma or someone else. They would keep asking to call or Skype, to get bored with it after 30 seconds of talking. I notified their teachers about the separation and to let me know of any behavior changes. We had tickets purchased months ago for an event this week with us and the kids and some other people in my family. WW was asking my mom if she could still go or how I wanted to handle it. I had my mom tell her I would rather not go together. So, she is supposed to give her ticket to my father to go in her place. So, I am waiting to see if she will go through with that plan when the time comes in 4 days. It's so frustrating because everything still comes in cycles like it did right after D-Day. I used to be sad, then angry, and then feel better, and then repeat. Since I filed for divorce, I cycle between happy and excited about my future to worried and angry. The kids were showing me something on their iPad and I saw a text WW had sent me on Skype after I deleted it. She was saying she wants me to unblock just so we can discuss simple things about the kids, divorce. Then she was saying how I blindsided her by filing for divorce and leaving right before Christmas. And also, how I am not the only one who is hurt by this. She brought up again how I just ripped us apart suddenly after being together 16 years, really 15 and 2 months. She rounded way up. I blindsided her, she says, kind of like she did me with her affair. And she is hurt. Somehow, I think she may be hurt a little less than I was by the affair. It's funny. When we would discuss the affair, she would say we were only together for 8 years. She never counted the 8 years before marriage. Now she says 16 years or half of her life, and all this to make it sound as long as possible. Instead of bringing my mom the tickets for our Christmas event today, WW held on to them and met us there so we would have to let her attend with us. I should have left, but I went ahead and stayed with the kids since it was only for an hour. She was super nice the entire time and kept trying to talk to me like everything was fine and we are best friends. I mostly stayed away from her or just smiled when she would say something to me. She took a bunch of pictures, so afterwards I unblocked her number and texted her to say, please don't post any pictures of me on the internet. I didn't want her to make it look like we are friends and getting along good. She replied, I wasn't. I took them to give to you. Then she sent them all to me. But I don't know how she knew I was going to unblock her to be able to send them in the first place. It wasn't a bad day, it just makes me mad that she acts as though everything is fine and we are friends. She has been alternating between nice and angry for the past month though. But at least that was the last scheduled event we had prepared together. Now I can put the boundaries back in place. I assume her anger will return again once the divorce gets rolling and the lawyer gets to work. She still has other man. He hasn't gone anywhere. The only reason he hasn't moved in is she is too embarrassed from my exposure to have him there this soon probably. Or maybe he is stalling on her. But if she had been this nice after D-Day, maybe we could have reconciled. But I don't know. Maybe she was just scared right after I left and filed for divorce and that's why she was begging here and there. And maybe now she settled down and realized she is happier without me. My mom said WW bought me a Christmas gift. I assume she will drop it off when she picks up kids tonight or brings them back for Christmas tomorrow. I was planning on sending it back home when I return the kids to her, or put it in one of their suitcases for her to find later. Should I do that or just keep the present? I haven't gotten her anything at all. I don't want to do anything with the gift for revenge or anything. I just want to do whatever Bess says. You cheated and we are not friends and I am not playing your games. I had to drop the kids off to her this evening and I tried to get them out the car and put them inside. She came out and was still being very nice and asked what time I wanted them back tomorrow. I told her as soon as possible. She said, okay, be careful. I said bye and left. She has been getting way too friendly with me the past couple days, and I hadn't stopped her. So, I sent her a message after I dropped the kids off this evening and said not to come outside to talk to me and if bringing them to me, don't come all the way to the back of the house, past my parents, and into my bedroom where I am at. She did this Friday night. She responded, I haven't done anything but talk to you about the kids. Your mom is stressed out from having to be in between us. I didn't tell her, but my mom isn't stressed out. She is aggravated because WW wakes her up late at night and texts her about stuff other than the kids. Then she texted my mom a bunch of angry messages saying she will bring the kids when she feels like it tomorrow and she isn't using her as an intermediary anymore and she isn't letting me ruin their Christmas with my bull crap. I was wondering what happened to that wayward anger, but she found it again. It seems like I would have no problem going through an intermediary if I had done something wrong and that was my spouse's wish. I don't understand why waywards have such a strong desire to talk to the spouse that they have thrown away. Maybe I will cheat on my next wife just to explore that way of thinking. Just joking. As far as the gift, I like the idea to donate it, but WW will never find out and will assume I kept it unless I tell her. And I want to have zero contact with her so I can heal quicker and move on. The gifts are 2 video games. She marked them and all the gifts as being from our 2 kids. I didn't open them. I just sat them on top of my dresser. She actually called my mom later to see if I opened them. I told mom to just ignore her texts if they aren't based on the kids. WW's mom got me a gift card too. I would love to send it back since she helped facilitate the affair and deceive me on several occasions, but I may use it on the kids or something. I did look at the cartoon video about Meatloaf. Very funny and very accurate. I ended up watching a couple more. Brought kids to her house since my mom was unavailable, and WW asked me, can you help me put the Christmas tree in the attic? I hesitated a second and walked towards the big box that the tree is in and she added, or are you going to send me another message saying not to talk to you? I said bye to the kids and left. I heard her huffing and puffing a little as I left. She texted a few minutes later asking about the kids' school uniform and I reminded her that they are out of school for another week. She replied, oh I forgot. Okay, Thanks. I'm trying to have zero contact with her, but something keeps messing that up. But most of the time she is very nice and seems to not be bothered by the divorce at all. But every so often she will do or say something mean. I want to keep it at zero contact though, so I don't have to keep worrying about whether she is bothered with losing her family or not. My comment: you are doing exactly what you need to do. See, she wants all the benefits of marriage with you, such as you are helping her hoist the box up in the attic, you are fixing the sink, you coming to pick her up when her car breaks down and she is stranded on the highway, you are watching the kids while she goes out and sleeps with other guys, you stopping by the store to pick up a box of tampons for her. Text her right now. Tell her the divorce is filed and the marriage contract is unvoided. You are no longer obligated to help her in any way, unless it has to do directly with the welfare of your children. That's it. If she breaks down on the highway and the kids are with her, then of course go get the kids and her by default. If she breaks down on the highway and she's by herself, text her to call one of her boyfriends to come get her. You will go to where the kids are and watch them until she gets back. It's not your job to take care of her anymore. She needs to be taught very clearly that you are no longer her husband. You are two separate people who just happen to have kids together. And once the kids are grown, you will hopefully never have to cross paths with her again. Purge her as much as you can from your life. Get rid of every shred of evidence that she ever existed. Scrape her name off the obelisks. Make it as if she were never born. OP responds: I see what you all are saying, but it doesn't seem like she is trying to manipulate that much. She seems to be perfectly happy and content just about every time we interact. I guess that is an act though. But I guess you are all right, because she has never been this nice since we first started dating. And every so often she does something that shows she is angry. I did file for divorce a month ago, and that was a few days before I moved out and told her I want zero contact, and to have her go through my mom for anything regarding the kids or divorce. My family is starting to turn on me a little and saying I am wrong for blocking her from calling me. But of course, none of them have ever dealt with a wayward before. And everyone is right, she does make everything about the kids. Yesterday was the day my lawyer finally finished the divorce papers after being delayed by the courts during the holidays. I texted WW to tell her she could go pick the papers up instead of serving her. She said okay, asked a couple questions about how to get there, but seemed not at all bothered or sad. 1 hour later she texted and asked if I was happy and if I was better off without her. I ignored her for a while and then she messaged that she wasn't happier and she wasn't better off. I continued to ignore her, but I felt sorry for her, even though I shouldn't. Also, this nice-looking girl on Facebook added and messaged me. It turns out she was dating other man for a while after his divorce, until she dumped him because of his affair with my WW. We have been talking a lot and she keeps inviting me to go eat or meet up and talk. I kept coming up with excuses, but still, we text nearly all day for the past week. I am supposed to take my kids and meet her and her kids at her church tomorrow. Only problem is I found out that she is 5 years older than me last night. So, I don't know if that will work for either of us or if she is still interested. But other man is 3 years younger than her, so maybe. Anyway though, talking to her has made me feel a lot better. I've also been talking to girls on dating sites and they all say I am very handsome. So that has improved my confidence a lot. But I'm thinking that after I meet this girl tomorrow, I may tell her I can't talk anymore, before either of us develops strong feelings and gets hurt. But I am also scared she will stop first, because of our age difference. And I want to end it before she does, or at least find out if she wants to keep going. I don't know what to do really. I've been talking to a few girls. Nothing serious, but I can tell the affair messed me up. If a girl seems interested and excited, and then doesn't text for a while, I start getting worried and assume she doesn't like me. I never liked that before. Guess I'm still just nervous. I have thought about WW and the affair very little since I've started talking to other girls. The one I did think I liked, after a couple days I started to realize she isn't really my type. Just someone compassionate to talk to. But one thing that is weird, before I was talking to anyone, I felt more noble and like a great guy that was wronged. As long as I am talking to other women, I feel like I no longer deserve sympathy. I don't know how to explain it really. I text a few girls here and there. For a day or two I feel like I am starting to get feelings for someone, then the next day or two I don't. And some days I feel super good and confident and some I feel just normal. But I'm not leading any girls on or anything like that. I definitely don't want to hurt anyone now that I know what it's like. But WW is still the same. Every 10 days or so she will try to text me wanting to talk. I just ignore her. The last time she texted, she was asking if I'm better off without her and if I am happier without her. She said she isn't happier or better off. I just ignored her, but I do feel kind of sorry for her. I feel like she is just an ignorant little girl that doesn't understand the real world. Occasionally she texts a legitimate question about picking up the kids or something, and if I answer, she sends a bunch of random questions about what I am doing. But I ignore like usual. But anyways, I feel good for the most part. I may feel a little down for a few hours here and there, but mostly good. WW is getting more desperate. For the past 2 days she has been trying to get me to talk. All day today she was trying to contact me. Then she tried to come to my house until I told her not to. So, she tried to get me to come to her house. I ignored her, so she sent me a message saying, I realize it's too late for us and too much damage has been done. I'm sorry for everything. I won't try to contact you anymore. Goodbye. I'm afraid she is about to start getting crazy in the next few days. I don't know what to tell her. I know what I want to tell her, but that will just make it worse. I just want to be left alone. WW texted today that her therapist told her we never got to see if we even like each other because of distractions in the marriage due to fighting and the affair. She asked if I would be open to staying married and separated but date each other to see if we even like each other. To me that says, the affair wasn't my fault. So, can you hold off on the divorce until I see if me and other man are going to work out or not? Nothing new to report. WW has been mostly quiet since the last time she tried to get me to come over or go out to eat with her. The past 2 days she has started to try to talk a little bit about the kids, but nothing important like an emergency or needed information. I have been feeling great though. My energy is up most days and my libido are somewhat back to normal. I'm starting to enjoy music again and all this other stuff that I used to enjoy. I have tons of women trying to talk to me. I send a little friendly text here and there, but I am happily single. 95% of the time I never think of the affair or other man or WW. But I do have the odd day here and there where I feel a little down. But they are fewer and fewer. Things have been going great for the most part. I did have a small little setback over the weekend when WW added some pictures on social media of her and her family, friends at an event, and other man was with them. She had been too ashamed and embarrassed to bring him around them, but not anymore, I guess. Also, kind of made me angry that her friends, family would be accepting and allow him to go with them. I don't want her back at all, but I do want the affair to fail so I can say, see, I was right. It hasn't bothered me very much, but I have been thinking about the affair more often since then. She also has stopped texting and bugging me so much. This all started about a week ago when she found out I have a couple female friends, even though I'm not romantically involved with them. Overall, though, I am doing great and happy most of the time. For the record, I've had her blocked on social media since I left and haven't looked back even once. Someone asked me, who is this guy? And showed me their phone with the picture up. Otherwise, I would never have known. It's possible this isn't the first pic she posted, but it's the first one I've seen. And I'm sure someone would have asked me by now if she has posted some before. I told the person that showed me the pic that I'm not interested in seeing what she is doing in the future. About a day or two after my last post, she started back trying to talk with me. She also emailed a big list of complaints to my lawyer. He sat us both down and talked about what is bothering her. She was hoping for the meeting to be about the lawyer scolding me for not taking care of her and giving her money and changing the stipulations so other man can move in while the kids are at home. But it was quite the opposite. She looked like a fool and cried during the entire 1-hour meeting. The lawyer made her look like a crazy person or a child, but he did it nicely and respectfully. I also broke the news to WW and the lawyer that I still don't want other man around the children because one of his ex-girlfriends from several months ago showed me some text messages where other man was saying he doesn't like my and WW's kids, thinks they are aggravating. So, I told the lawyer the kids will be even more aggravating to him if he is around them and living with them. Of course, WW doesn't care about the kids very much and still wants other man around them regardless of if it's bad for them. But for the past 4 or 5 days she has been trying to text and ask if I want to get back together, all while continuing to date other men. Still no remorse or anything. She is just hoping I am miserable and want to get back together. She also said she misses me and has been texting random messages like we are still married. But I'm not falling for it. I am much happier without her. I had the lawyer make it to where other man can't be around the kids until the divorce is final. I want to protect the kids, but it also works out great for other man so he doesn't have to deal with kids or help around the house. My comment, stop talking to her man. She's still using you as her emotional tampon. Just don't reply to garbage texts like that. Logistics text only warrant a response. She's broken and you can't fix her. End of story. Get this poison out of your life. That is more manipulation on her part and trying to keep you as plan B. Don't be plan B. Wasn't just a month ago you said she was acting all happy and not even caring about a divorce. Reality must be starting to set in. Updated part 2 ending coming tomorrow morning. Sub and bell and catch you in the ending.